but I've seen so many like you. Take my word for it, they feel the same, they feel the same. So take my hand and I'll lead you back onto the other side. Get yourself into a better place and live your life. Hold your head up high and don't rely on anyone else. Make it easier on yourself and don't ask why. Well, there have been so many changes flowing through your life, but you learn to look the other way. But I know that there's a better way. Take my word for it, you'll feel the same, you feel the same. So take my hand and I'll lead you back to the other side. Get yourself into a better place and live your life. Hold your head up high and don't rely on anyone else. Make it easier on yourself and don't ask why. Hold your head up high on the other side. Hold your head up high on the other side. Hold your head up high on the other side.
Good evening and welcome again to another show here with your host Rob E.T. Tamate Tūhaka. If you want to get the stream here, go to www.spreaker.com/user/100903668. If you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook under Rob E.T. Tamate Tūhaka. Miwi is Rob Tamate-Tūhaka. And if you want to get me via email, you can also reach me through Blattinboy, that's capital B, all the rest is lowercase, LATTIN boy, the word boy, at gmail.com. Right, how are you all doing this evening, or I should say morning or night, depending where you're dotted around the world? First of all, I'd like to acknowledge, as per usual, the THI, Truth, Honour and Integrity Group. Hello to all of you, and thank you for your support that you've been helping me, and also the support I've been giving you. It's awesome. It's like we're like whānau dotted around the whole globe. Open Your Mind Radio, and your lot too. I'd like to say kia ora to you guys too, and good luck for the battle in Ireland, bro. Alan James and Stephen George, and also Randy Morgan and what he does too. He's also a great inspiration, and also he gets to the nitty gritty of what's really going on. So yeah, well, a lot's been going on over the past week, even though I live in a slow life town. I actually managed to get in contact with people who have meetings, and I'm not just talking about with humans too, I'm also talking about with ETs. humans slash a lot of, sorry, not ETs. Well, yeah, there are some ETs involved, but it's more NTs, because here in Gisborne and around the surrounding regions around here in Gisborne, New Zealand, there's a lot of ETs that live around here. I've mentioned it in my past shows, and a lot of us are aware of it. But yeah, I managed to get into some the meeting with this group. I'm not going to say too much at this time due to the fact of it's still work in progress, but it's looking good at this time. But this meeting is about, we usually have talks. Oh, so what am I on about? They usually have talks about people and what's going on around here in New Zealand, and how can we fight the fight, because as you know, we've also got, as I said, we've got ETs and NTs on our side too that are doing their job, and also keeping their side of the bargain too, with especially with the peace treaty. So we're just pretty much figuring out how we can sort the crisis here in New Zealand with the SS small p, due to the fact of this is their stronghold. They did have a big thing over in Kaikoura before the earthquakes hit back in 2017, late 2016. They had a few earthquakes there, and Kaikoura rose 10 metres above the ground. So there's a lot of fun and games happening there with directed energy weapons and things like that. Same with Wellington and the earthquakes they've been getting. A lot of it's unnatural. It's due to the fun and games that the Draco have had here in the past, because it was a Draco base that was based in Kaikoura. We also got a few bases up in the Waimata valleys, and also another base in the Whareratas, which is the surrounding regions here. Waimata is just about 5 minutes down the road from where I am. Oh, and the Mangatua as well, which is pretty much Waituhi where I am. If you look above the hills and over, if you go, and I've been there before. Used to see a lot of craft dipping in and out of the base. I know where it is exactly, but I haven't approached that group yet, due to the fact of just a lot of fun and games with the half eel, half man species. They've played a good role in the past, but unfortunately, can't really trust them at this time. It can change. I've still got to try and get in contact with the hoof species, which is half goat, half man. It's just a whole bunch of things going on here, and also being involved with the Māori Party. I've mentioned this in the past. We have currently got the structure or layout for being a movement, but still classed as a party, which in March I'll be asking for a name change again, due to the fact that the younger generation here actually want a movement, not a party. They think party politics, they switch off. They think movement, and then once they know what it stands for, they want to join. So I mean, it's trying to figure out how we can merge that bridge, which I've got someone up my sleeve who goes by the name of TK Pere, who is about 50 years old, and so he's in that era of what we class as the old fogies, or the not quite senior citizens, but being that age, the elderly or the senior citizens will listen to them all, due to the fact of just age, just being similar. The last AGM I went to, it went well, but at the same time it was like they looked at me like I sort of was being a bit of a know-it-all. Excuse me, I'll just stop the rattling a bit, because that's getting annoying. That's just my fan in my studio. But it's just, they just think, being a young fella, so they just think, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And unfortunately, the younger generation here thinks that about the elderly. because, and I hate to say this because they are our treasure, the elderly, but they are in a way stuck in the old ways. So unfortunately, there's a bit of a mind struggle there between the younger and older, but we'll merge that gap, because once we do and actually work together on it, well, we'll actually be in a better place. So yeah, I just can't wait till that happens, due to the fact of just, as I said, all the fun and games happening with not just our species, but with the other species that are not really interfering these days, but I do see them around sometimes. I even had a report from a guy here named Matt, who said he was at a party and he had actually met a reptilian that was disguised as a human, but his disguise ended up falling for a bit. So he saw behind the mask and seen this true entity. He said that it was like a greenish, greyish looking reptile with yellow bright eyes that looked at him, and pretty much in a nutshell, just to disarm the situation, he got the headlamp and shined it into his eyes and said, I got to go for a smoke, bro, just to and didn't tell his friend what had happened, due to the fact of, when you see an ET mask fall like that, or half fall, because he said half of his face was changing, shape-shifting. So it goes to show that, life is not what people think it is. And a lot of people think, we want to meet ET, or you probably have, unfortunately, been disguised as a Homo sapien, but nonetheless you've met them, because they are dotted all over the place, and a lot. So as for these the next meeting, I've been voted the electric rep for Gisborne all the way to Wellington. If you don't know, for the overseas lot, if you don't know what that region covers, look it up on a map. Look up Gisborne and then look up Wellington, and then you see the distance, and that's where I represent at this time, where I am. But anyway, we like to end on positive things for the last 2 minutes. First and foremost, it's getting there, and it's getting also almost time for the change to happen, for Mother Earth to do what she's got to do. And also to let you know, I might be doing another show later on tonight, due to the fact of I've got a special guest that wants to join me on my show. So listen out for that show later on tonight. But I just thought I'd give an update and everything like that, to see, just to tell you what's going on in my world, and to also, how can I put it, to also let all of you know out there what's going on. I can't obviously disclose everything, due to the fact of we are in a state of war, so it's you've got to you got to be careful with the information you give. You can give bits and tiddly bits, just enough for people just to thing, but you got to watch for the sensitive information, because that can really get you if you've got enemy that is listening in as well, and also trying to infiltrate what you're doing. But anyway, that is all for me for now. I'll probably do another show later on, just depending what happens. If I don't, you'll see me next week on Friday, as per usual. I was broadcasting late because I was busy, but I finally got back to do it. But anyway, from myself, E.T., you've been listening to me, and love to you all, and peace out. You've been listening to E.T. on E.T. Radio.